Stay tuned, everybody, because it's time for the Playin on Music Row podcast with your host, Fran. Heard each week on this station. And now, here's Fran.
Well, I want to welcome everyone, and especially our guest. Today's guest is John Surge of John Surge and the Haymakers. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today, John.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate being here.
Oh, you're quite welcome. First of all, let me ask this question. Who are the Haymakers? You know, how did they come to be, and who are actually the members?
I don't know how long ago, 6, 7 years ago, I decided to start a kind of a solo band with my name out front. And so I've kind of corralled a bunch of players from the LA area who've been playing with me for quite some time. So I have Randy Bolin on electric guitar, and he does songwriting. He's kind of like my right-hand man. And then Teresa Cowles on bass and harmony vocals, and Simon Runge on drums. And that's kind of my main live unit.
Okay. Who are some of the writers and artists that have influenced you?
Well, that's always a hard question because the list is so long. We could spend a lot of time just on that subject. But I always at the top of the list for me is definitely Bob Dylan, someone who I really feel is like probably the best songwriter in history. And not that I would ever say that I approximate anything that he does, but I like to study what he does, and I'm just amazed at what he was able to produce and still produce. I grew up on Bruce Springsteen and Tom Petty and Paul Westerberg, and then I love Rodney Crowell and Billy Joe Shaver, and kind of I'm really kind of love the 80s LA kind of genre bending, the Blasters and Dwight Yoakam and Lucinda Williams and Rank and File, and that whole crew still kind of influences what I do. So I love songwriting, and I love great songwriters, and aspire to be like those heroes.
Okay. Now you have a new release that's coming out, which is Almost Time. And I wonder if you could maybe give us a little idea of what's the theme of the project, and what it's all about, how it came about.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where I kind of was getting the feeling that it was a long time since I released the first John Surge and the Haymakers record, and I was kind of getting feeling a little time pressure to go, we need to do another record. So I wound up writing just a bunch of songs, a batch of songs, all at one time, and kind of made voice memos. And I don't know if there's a theme, but what it was is I decided, I kind of joke because there's no good studios in LA. I decided to record the record in Texas. And so and it was mainly to work with producer Tommy Dedamore, who kind of is known for doing Jim Lauderdale and Doug Somm and Sonny Sweeney, and just more recently Jesse Daniel. And I just love the sound of his records. So I kind of just said, you know what, instead of doing the thing I've always done, let's get in the car, and actually just Randy Bolin and I drove across the country and drove to Tommy's studio, and we spent about 10 days there and recorded this record. So as far as a theme goes, I don't know if there's necessarily a theme other than that experience definitely influenced how it was recorded.
Okay. Or fine. Well, we have a single that we're going to play from that particular release, which is called "You're So Right." Can you give us like a background on that particular song before we play it?
Yeah, and we have a video on that one too. And it's a traditional country shuffle, kind of amped up country shuffle, and it's just that it's a sad love song, I guess, about we think we're in love, but maybe we're not. And it's kind of when that point of realization comes. So there, it's you're so right, we're so wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, let's listen to You're So Right by John Surge and the Haymakers.
Tried to tell me, but my heart wouldn't listen. I was too busy thinking about the hugging and the kissing. You stepped on the brakes, I never saw the lights. Little by little there was something missing. I could tell our love was in a bad condition. I tried to hold on with all my might. You're so right, didn't take that long. From I think I love you till I think I'm gone. You're so right, it's like a sad love song. Honey, you're so right, we're so wrong. About a fine romance when you talk to me, puts me in a trance. Every day with you is like Saturday night. We can blame it on whatever circumstance. I thought about fighting for another chance. All it took was one last night. You're so right, didn't take that long. From I think I love you till I think I'm gone. You're so right, it's like a sad love song. Honey, you're so right, we're so wrong. So right, it's like a sad love song. Honey, you're so right. Honey, you're so right. We're so wrong. You're so right, didn't take that long. From I think I love you till I think I'm gone. You're so right, it's like a sad love song. Honey, you're so right, we're so wrong.
That's Texas. That, that is a because it had a lot of it's a feel of Radney Foster too. Radney Foster, which I really
You know
like.
what? Yeah, thanks. Foster and Lloyd is actually a big influence for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Now, so the whole project was recorded in Texas then?
Yeah, there was a few overdubs done here in LA, but yeah, for the most part, I think it was 9 days actually, and one day we took off. So it was 8 days of recording, and it moved pretty quickly, and it was done, except for some few different overdubs. It
Cool.
was pretty different than how I've ever recorded before, when it took months and months and months.
Well, good. You got the project out. It's really good. It sounds real good.
Thanks.
When did you begin writing and performing your original music?
I would never disclose that, Fran. But
Okay.
you know what? Kind of the interesting thing about that is, since I was a little kid, I was been writing songs, and I think about it. I've never played in a cover band. It took me a while to start performing, but once I did, I was always playing original music, and I actually wish I learned some more cover songs along the way, but it also served me well to kind of just be focused on songwriting. But I've been doing it for a long time, and still passionate about it.
Okay. But because you did this from when you were young, but where do you find you get your ideas for songs? How do they come?
Yeah, probably not like, unlike a lot of songwriters. And now we do it on our phone. Used to be in a notebook, but I have either song ideas. I usually start from lyrics, and but I have song titles and song lines and little just notes that I keep in a long list. And a lot of it just comes from just a lot of the songs in this record. Honestly, I look back and we're in a lot of night spots, talking to characters, talking to folks, overhearing stuff, and I look back, and a lot of these came from just like me catching somebody saying something, making a quick note, going back to it, and go, oh, that's something I'd like to explore. So I would say that's kind of it. Either just capturing everyday things and turning it into an idea, but a lot of it's from nightclubs.
Okay. Okay, let me say, because I was gave you an idea and we kind of mentioned some of the influences, but how would you describe your sound? Because it's unique.
Well, thanks. Hopefully that's a good thing. Some folks try to actually kind of like recreate another period of time. I've never really been into doing that, so I don't really know. I would say, try to get ideas from classic artists and songwriters, and kind of do it with my own spin, and have a little contemporary feel for sure, but with kind of a wink and a nod to the past. I always, people say, well, yeah, what kind of band is it? How would you describe it? I always say roadhouse country. It's kind of amped up country with an edge, rock and country. That's how I like to look at it. Some people call it Americana. Whatever it is. I think it is good to have more of a kind of your own sound, and maybe hard to pigeonhole. But I appreciate it.
Okay. Well, you performed the song at DPI. Is that right? DPI's, and it's called Gold. And can you give us a little background? Because we're going to play that video. Can you tell us a little bit about how that happened?
Oh no, you're gonna play that video, okay? Well, I'm not sure what video that is, but maybe, yeah.
It's a live one.
Yeah, okay. It's unofficial, but we it's just a song that I thought would be kind of fun to do, and my vocal range and Jon Stewart's are kind of similar, and it's an old disco song actually from long back, and but we do it, and people kind of dig it because everybody knows it. And I'm kind of a Jon Stewart fan, so this is our tribute to him.
Okay.
Oh, we dug it up. It was on solid gold.
Lights go down in a California town. People are in the evening. I jump into my car, throw my guitar. Heartbeat time I'm breathing. Driving through the day, singing to my soul. People out there turn the music in the gold. Well, my buddy Jim Bass, working for my desk, and it takes 54 an hour. He's got rhythm in his hands, he's tracking on the dance, he's singing rock and roll in the shower. Driving over Canaan, singing to my soul. People out there turn the music into gold. Well, California girls are the greatest in the world. Each one's a song in the making. The rhythm reminds of me, I can hear the melody. The story is there for the taking. Riding on the canyon, singing to my soul. People out there turn the music into gold.
make sure we get the crowd in there. I hope you don't mind that I selected that.
I've never seen it before.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it was good because he showed you're well-rounded, all the
Yeah,
range.
yeah.
Where actually is that venue located?
That's in Long Beach. Yeah,
Long-
Long Beach, California.
Okay,
Kind of play there, every few months.
that's cool.
Yeah.
How was your music career being promoted?
Well, other than myself trying to do as best as I can do, we're fortunate on this record that a local label here, Blackbird record label, picked up our record and is releasing it, and they've got distribution through Smith, and they've been a big help, and just helping guide me, and then I have Kim Grant is doing my publicity, and Joe Estrada is doing radio, and so as it takes a small army to get an independent record out to the folks, and it's a lot of juggling, but that's just playing as much as we can, pushing out videos. We have a video for You're So Right. We have one coming up for a cover song that we did called Big Train that's going to be coming out here real soon. So anything and everything we can do.
Okay. Well, it seems like you have a very busy touring schedule. So, will you actually be after the pandemic? Will you be out touring in support of this? Almost time.
Right now, right now it's going to be probably just short little swings on the West region, and if I had an opportunity to be frank with you, it's just not something that right now I've elevated to do, but if the opportunity came up, we would do it. But right now it's going to be more kind of 4 or 5 night swings Northern California, Northwest, Nevada, and then Arizona, New Mexico, and then honestly, Southern California is almost like 10 different markets with so you could play in just Southern California from Santa Barbara to San Diego, and never exhaust all the shows you could do. So that's a little bit of what we do. We play all over Southern California, and now we got to branch out.
Okay. Have you performed in Bakersfield? Because I can see how they'd be interested in your music.
We have played in Bakersfield, and they're a good crowd, great country crowd, and tough crowd. And yeah, we had a wonderful. We only played there once. We had a wonderful night at the 8th Street Bar and Grill, and it's just a place we got to go back to. The kind of unique thing about Bakersfield, it's a little bit of a kind of almost every venue requires you to bring your own PA, which is kind of puts a little wrinkle in playing out there.
Okay. That's something to know.
Yeah.
Well, how can the listening audience find out more about John Surge and the Haymakers? If they want to music or purchase music, that kind of thing.
Yeah, thank you. Well, of course, we're on all the streaming services. The album's not quite out yet. The only thing that's available right now is the single. There'll be another single coming out in a couple of weeks. So we're going to release a bunch of singles as we go. But if you go to johnsurge.com, we got great resources there, all the shows, ways to link to our streaming services, ways to link to our social media. Of course, we're on Instagram and Facebook, and now X. You can follow me on X. or not. But yeah, johnsurge.com. I think websites for artists are still kind of one of the best places to go and see everything, see press clips, learn, find out what's going on. But so that's what I'd suggest. A regular visit to johnsurge.com.
Okay, that's good. Well, I've asked you a lot of questions. Is there anything that I haven't asked you that maybe you'd like to share with the listening audience?
Oh boy, I don't know. You did pretty well. The only thing I would say is I'm coming to Nashville for Americana Fest. We're playing a couple unofficial shows out there. So if you happen to see our name, John Surge, and the Haymakers, come see us. We're going to be playing at D's, and we're going to be playing at Acme, and hopefully get a couple other shows in as well. So, check out our music, see if you like it, come see us. We'll always have a good time when you come see us, for sure.
Well, actually, I'd appreciate if you would just let me know when you're going to be here in Nashville, because I would certainly like to see it, and maybe bring another one of the music industry people there or two.
Okay, that'd be great. Well, I
Yeah.
really appreciate your interest and the great questions and the setup, and thank you very much, Fran.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, the Nashville Broadcasting Network wants to thank you for taking your time, because I know you're very busy, but we thank you for taking the time and visiting us.
Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your afternoon.